Now, to talk about all this is New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. Good to see you, Congresswoman. So your district is pretty much was right in the center of where the storm hit. How are your constituents doing?
Well, unfortunately, it's been a tragedy with this really unusually bad storm, worse than 1977, they're saying, and the number of deaths is really tragic. So we're praying for that this is the end of the situation in terms of determining people that have passed away or died because of the storm. And look, I don't understand why the Democrats in the state legislature, remember, this is a one-party rule state, New York. It has completely been taken over by Democrats. They have a veto-proof majority, and they keep pushing this climate agenda. They basically passed the equivalent of the Green New Deal a few years ago, and they keep doubling down on it. And unfortunately, it's going to force electrification. It's going to prevent us from using our rich abundance of natural gas, which is on these Utica and Marcellus shales, some of the best areas to extract. But interesting, this district that we call the Lake Effect District, because it really has most of Lake Ontario and actually bumps up next to Lake Erie, where all this dramatic lake effect snow is occurring, in Buffalo too, right, where the Buffalo Bills play in Orchard Park. But the problem is that these areas are dependent on fossil fuels. A lot of this is rural farming area, the #1 agricultural district in the Northeast. And a lot of people use propane, especially in the rural areas, still dependent about 50% on heating oil. And all 3 nuclear power plants in the state of New York are in my new district. Wow. And interestingly, when Governor Perry just talked about baseload, this would be a great way to help New Yorkers get some reliable, clean, and safe energy. Because the problem is, what are we going to do when they start implementing these laws that are coming into place very quickly? We're going to be 100% electrified, and you're going to see even more deaths and more disaster and less ability for our farmers to produce, for our businesses to produce, and for people to be safe in their homes.
Well, I hate to say it, but is that what it's going to take for the legislature to turn things around? I mean, in 2020, they had this out-and-out ban on fracking completely, even though, as you say, you sit in a very rich reserve of natural gas and oil. I mean, is it going to take more deaths for them to change their mind?
Look, this is a tragedy in the making for the state of New York. Remember, the first oil and natural gas discovered in the United States was actually in New York State. It was in Fredonia in the southern tier, where all of this potential natural gas exploration has been shut down because of this knee-jerk reaction. They get someone like an Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez who just says, ban fracking, defund the police, and this knee-jerk reaction without science, without any thoughtful discussion about how we make energy reliable. If energy is not reliable, we are not going to see prosperity. We're not going to see security or safety. I have constituents, one of them came up to me in the grocery store a few weeks ago and said that she was in her house in her winter coat with her gloves and her hat on because it was so cold. Yeah. And she's a senior citizen relying on fixed income, and she was not able to afford the really high cost of heating oil, which is, the Democrats want to ban this. This is just right around the corner when this could happen. So real tragedy. We've got to do an all of the above strategy. I know some people don't like to hear that, but I mean, we've got to look at every aspect. Fossil fuels can be a great opportunity for us to actually bring some prosperity back to our nation, and be energy independent as we were.
You mentioned the cost of it. New York and other states that have abandoned fracking or outlawed it are paying a lot more money. New York, forgive me, is about 68% more expensive per kilowatt hour to pay for energy in New York than the national average. 68% more than the national average. I mean, do people realize that it's because of the bans on fracking, because of the bans on new pipelines, that their prices are so high?
Well, I don't know why the Democrats don't realize it's pretty simple math when you look at the fact that energy actually contributes anywhere from 25 to 30% of inflation. So transportation, the cost of goods, everything that we're doing with our war on energy, fertilizer is costing us money, costing our consumers money, which is why you just came out with there was another report. New York has the highest exodus of people and jobs out of our state because these policies they keep doubling down on. We really need a change in Albany. We got close this year, but we need to have more seats. We need to get the information out. We need to, as Governor Perry said, go look at Fossil Future by Alex Epstein. Very good book on why we need fossil fuels to really just launch us into prosperity, to have a strategy where, yes, we can be cleaner, and more efficient, but we must be reliable or we're going to lose lives, as we're seeing in upstate New York. And
We
more
already
storms are
have.
coming. It's not like the storms are going away.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, there's this new omnibus bill that I wish I had more time to talk to you about it. But within there's an extra. I think it's about 1.7. Yeah, it's 1.7 billion dollars extra for the Department of Energy. I went through the list of what they're spending money on, particularly the new spending. Doesn't have anything to do with fossil fuels. It's like they talk about border control over in Europe and Asia, but they're not spending any money on border patrol here. Does the Department of Energy contribute anything to solving our energy crisis, to providing some security for energy grids?
Well, let's be honest, Dave. You know what that money is for? It's for creating more bureaucrats that are going to cost more money, create more regulations, and make the situation even worse. Every one of those people is going to get a salary, government health care, government pensions. We're all going to be paying for that. And it's not going to do anything but continue this war on energy to make us less energy independent, which we need right now. When you're seeing the war in Ukraine, we're up against China. We're up against, enemies in the Middle East. And now our administration in his own omnibus bill that's going to be signed into law, we are actually going to be now dependent on our enemies like Iran, Venezuela, going back. And how are we going to compete against China? I'm a small business owner. We have a manufacturing business in the heart of upstate New York. If it weren't for our municipal power, we would not be able to afford doing business to be competitive.
By the way,
in our industry.
Congresswoman, I want to ask, I got to wrap, but are your constituents in favor of fracking, for example?
Yeah, most of them are when they have the information and they get the truth. But unfortunately, this very expensive lobby, and oh, by the way, in the past, when these fracking bans were coming on, the Russians actually were spending money to try to disincentivize people from investing into this fracking business because they were competitive.
Yes.
It was a competitive against them. That's actually was proven by the Petroleum Council. So, yeah, we have a real problem with information. I urge everyone, let's get knowledgeable. Let's talk about science, not knee-jerk reaction coming from leftist communist authoritarians down in New York City who don't understand farming. They don't understand prosperity and what we need to do to feed and to actually maintain our businesses in upstate New York and all across the country, actually.
And bottom line is they don't understand energy, and that's why we have the problem that we have.
Yes.
Congresswoman, we've got to leave it at that. Thank you so much for being here.